Hey, how's it guys? I just thought it'd be a cool idea just to discuss the effect that the setting of the bro or surfer dude's buoyancy on the board has in respect to the self-righting rotation. You'll see on my bro boards, my bro in himself, the flotation is very much in his upper body and more to the right rail of the board. Now, I mean, when the board, if we can turn the board around from behind, if you look at the board like this, if this board is upside down, it'll have a natural tendency to rotate from behind in a clockwise rotation, because the buoyancy of bro is set to the, looking from behind, to the left side of the center line of the board. So naturally, if the board's upside down, the rotation stronger, pushing up on the right hand rail of the board will rotate like this every time it is upside down in a true turtle. If the board was like this at 45 degrees, it would naturally right that way. But if it started off at a true turtle like this, because bro's buoyancy is on the right hand side rail of the center line, he'll naturally come around like that. Now, the reason I've set bro to the right hand side is not because I favor a natural footer or a goofy footer. It really has to do with the rotation of the prop. Because the prop rotates in an anti-clockwise rotation, its tendency is to rotate the board clockwise. So sometimes on very windy days, if I have bro coming up and the wind's actually pushing bro down, strong side shore and offshore, whatever direction the wind might be blowing him or pushing him down, I can use the assist of the prop's rotational torque, which would naturally flick the board around, and I can get on with my surfing business. So that's the deal. All done intentionally. While we're at it, also just to talk about, some people think because bro leans to the right that he'll have a tendency to twist the board to the right. Not so. I mean, the figure itself is way too light to have an effect on the rail like that. The entire figure weighs 135 kilograms, so if you had to think of the offset weight here, it's minimal. And then the other consideration is also when the board's traveling forward, you can have a bit of wind resistance pushing against the figure, which would actually help right the board. If this was a goofy footer, the wind resistance would actually work in favor of the rotation and perhaps even trim the board over more. One of the things you can consider doing with the board's rotation is you can get clockwise and anti-clockwise rotational props depending on what your desire and need is. But yeah, that's it. So why does bro right the way he does? For no other reason other than the buoyancy is set to the right hand rail, so that when it's upside down, it'll always come up that way, clockwise from behind in the same direction as the prop's rotational torque. That's it. That's bro. Let's go surfing. Keep me stuck inside your head like your favorite tune. And know my heart's a stereo, the only place for you.